extent that there are a lot of guys who actually, I think, overperform as rookies, who kind of just come out swinging, whether it's adrenaline, whether it's just this, nobody has the book on them yet, whatever you want to look at, and they kind of fall off. So, I looked at that the other day, and again, I think this might sound odd. I think Bryant has, and I don't believe he will fall off. Chris Bryant has the biggest potential to drop just because of the fact that not only did he have an incredibly outstanding, like he had one of the best rookie seasons in the history of the game, right? If you look at WAR, he's 14th all time as a rookie, and so there's not a whole lot of room to move up from 6.5. And when you look at his batting average on balls in play, it was unsustainably high. It was like 374. Babe Ruth career was 340, right? So there's going to be a reduction in some of that luck. And so I think Bryant's going to have to do a lot of work. His contact rates were pretty terrible. His swinging strike rates were really high. And his batted ball velocity on ground balls is part of the reason he got a lot of infield hits. But he wasn't squaring the ball up really. When he didn't square it up and really drive it, his contact was bad, right? So it was either like really good or really bad. And so he's going to have to overcome some of that luck. I think he can, but the potential is there if a couple things shift the wrong way for him to really have a pretty significant drop-off. Now, it's not the end of the world by any stretch, but I think because of what he put up last year, the pitfalls are there.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, the Cubs have enough talent around these young players. Of course, you have Schwarber in the lineup and Bryant and Addison Russell and those guys who are coming into their second season. Some pitchers might adjust, might pitch to their weaknesses. But I think you have enough talent on the roster, Rizzo, Hayward, some of those other guys that could take over for a little bit and fill the void. So I think Addison Russell is going to have a huge season this year. I think his numbers are going to jump up. We already know he's a beast in the field. His crazy range, great arm. But that's just my personal prediction. We'll see what happens this season with Schwarber and Bryant.
No, absolutely, and I agree with you on Russell. I mean, I think he's primed to really have, and people aren't really that high on him. It doesn't seem like from a national level, but I think when you talk about him getting a full year at shortstop, the defense he provides, I think the offense is going to come way up. And so again, the good news of it is like they could have a guy, they could have two guys kind of slump, and they've got enough thunder and good defense, good base runners, smart baseball players. So again, they can make up for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they all got better. So it's definitely gonna be a fun season. That's for sure.
Yeah. Cannot wait for it. Cannot wait.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, sir.
April cannot come soon enough. Evan, thank you for your time. We look forward to reading more of your work. Go Cubs, man. Have a good one.
Sounds good. Take care.
All right. Peace.
And that was Evan Altman. Great interview. Great guy. It was good to finally talk to him, and I really enjoyed it. So thanks again, Evan. Great time.
It was a good guy to have on.
Yeah, he's extremely knowledgeable, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Knows a lot about the Cubs, and we are both very excited for this upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
Blake, congratulations.
For what?
You made it through the winter months.
I did.
And spring's here. Spring training is here. Pitchers and catchers report tomorrow, even though pretty much the entire team is already there.
Yeah.
Which is
I thought it was today. I'm pretty sure it was today.
It's not today.
It was.
I'm going to quote you on that, and you're wrong.
I just saw it. I'm going to look at
the pitchers and catchers report tomorrow officially, and I believe position players report Tuesday. So you can quote me on that. Yeah. I'm right. But congratulations, you made it, man.
I did.
The offseason seemed very quick.
Yeah, it did.
I don't know how it was like for you, but for me, it seemed like it flew by.
Yeah, it absolutely flew by. I mean,
it kind of helps being in the postseason, though.
It kind of helps playing in October and almost in November. Did they reach November? I don't think so. But
I don't think so, but still, October helps.
Winter meetings came by in like a flash. They came and went really fast, and now we're here already. So, I mean, it's been crazy. Crazy offseason, too. That helps, when you have a bunch of big names signing.
Yeah, some big names that have signed. We're going to talk about that in a second.
We're going to talk about it all.
But we're going to talk about some initial thoughts on the team, some overall predictions in the division, stuff like that.
Yeah.
To put it frankly, everybody, this team is absolutely stacked. 1 through 9, it's pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
It's extremely terrifying. There's not really a hole in this lineup, as far as I can tell. I'm no baseball insider or baseball analyst, but this team is stacked.
There's not a lot of holes anywhere, all across the roster. I mean, they did a good job just filling any possible need they had in the offseason.
Mm-hmm. They removed all doubt.
Removed all doubt.
Claps for you, my man. You're doing work. Cubs should re-sign you for
Give him all the money.
Give him all the money in the world.
I'll give him some money. Does he? If he wants some of my money, I'll give.
If he wants all of Blake's $5, he can.
I'll give him $5.50.
He can take it.
Yeah.
So, do you have an overall prediction for this team? What are your feelings on the season?
Well, obviously, I'm very excited, as everyone else is, and I'm expecting huge things, as pretty much everyone else is. I don't know if you've looked at power rankings at all this week, but
I have.
I haven't seen one that is not the Cubs at the very top. So
Buster Olney is very high on the Cubs.
Yeah.
As is
He was on the
USA
Cubs last
Today.
year. He thought the Cubs would win last year, too.
Yeah, USA Today projected the Cubs to win 102 games, which is ridiculous.
There's an interesting thing. Like, I've seen a lot of, like, they're going to win 100 games, and they're going to be first seed in playoffs, but I've seen a lot of Giants versus whoever in the AL.
It is an even year, and the
Yeah.
Giants win on even years.
Which is terrifying. I'm not happy that the Giants sign all these top-end starters and are gearing up for another even year run, but
It's an even year, everybody. Look out.
but overall, I think, best roster in the MLB, without a doubt.
I'm going to go ahead and predict that the Cubs win the division.
How about this? Over under 100 wins.
I'm going to take the over.
I think I'm going to take the over, too.
I'm going to take the over. I think it's going to be under 105, though. Can I say
Yeah.
that? Yeah. It's going to be under 105, but I think they'll get over 100. And it's just a good time to be a Cubs fan right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited. Everyone's pumped. I haven't seen this type of coverage in spring training in a long time. And players get down there early, which is extremely important. Even though they're not starting position-specific workouts, everyone's pumped.
Yeah, just the excitement level is at an all-time high for not only the fans, but, even the players, too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I got to give a shout-out here to John Arguello. If you don't follow him, he's a writer for Chicago Now, and he
Cubs Den,
with
right?
Cubs Den, yes. And he's been taking some awesome pictures.
Yeah.
And he's down there. He lives in Arizona.
Yeah, he's in Mesa.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job covering
As he does
the team.
every year. He does a good
he
job
brings
every
it every time. So follow him on Twitter. Search Chicago Now for him.
Yeah, he'll be a great follow for
Cubs fan. And a shameless plug here, search Bulls Block too, because that's my site on Chicago Now. But John Arguello is just doing a great job.
Yeah.
I know there's been some talk recently about people stealing his pictures. Just don't do that, guys. Like, come on. This guy's working hard. Give him some credit. At least ask him. Come on. But he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Blake, let's talk some new arrivals here on this Cubs team. And there are a couple of them. So in the offseason, you go out, you get Ben Zobrist, Jason Hayward, Rex Brothers, John Lackey, all these guys.
Adam Warren.
Just to name a few.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite signing of the offseason?
Well, I bet you could guess.
I'm going to guess Jason Hayward.
I'm going to say Jason Hayward.
Jason Hayward.
We talked about this on the first episode, but as just a guy who fits every need the Cubs were looking for in a player, like if you went down the line and listed their weaknesses at the end of last year, that's all of Jason Hayward's strengths for the most part. So as just like a perfect fit signing, I haven't seen a signing as a perfect marriage as this one is with Hayward. So
it's a perfect marriage. In America, that's very rare.
That 50%.
But yeah, for me, this might surprise you a bit here.
Yeah.
I'm going Ben Zobrist.
Okay.
And here's why. Dude's a winner. He won with the Royals. He's a great clubhouse guy, good veteran. And I think this team might need one or two more, or a couple more veteran pieces. You can never have enough good locker room guys. You have old man David Ross already, and you have Ben Zobrist, and you have a couple other guys. It's good for young talent to be around guys like that.
Yeah.
Ben Zobrist knows what it takes to win. He's performed everywhere he's been. He knows Joe Madden. He knows his style. He knows what makes him happy.
Yes.
And he can play all over the field. Super utility guy.
Perfect fit for what Madden wants in a player, too. Another just great fit.
Yeah. You know, he's coming off knee surgery. You know, he's a little older. But at the same time, I think it's just what this team needed. And I think that's why Theo and Jed handcrafted this master plan to go out and get him. After that Castro
big surprise signing with Zobrist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not expecting it at all.
Yeah, I was sitting on my couch and I saw the tweets kind of just rolling in, being like, if the Cubs trade Castro, Ben Zobrist could be the next domino of the fall. And I'm like, where the heck did this come from?
I thought for sure he was going to the Nationals. That's all I heard.
Yep.
Right before he signs with the Cubs. So, and that's kind of, it seems like that's how Theo and Jed work for the most part.
Nationals kind of struck out this offseason. So,
yes, they did.
They even got Dusty Baker, which made it worse.
Yes.
Some of the stuff that he said in the offseason. We won't get to that.
We won't even talk about that.
I think Dusty, for his time with the Cubs, he did a good job, but
He
sometimes
says some out there stuff.
he needs to keep his foot in his mouth majority of the time.
Yes.
But yeah, I like Ben Zobrist a lot.
Yeah.
He just seems like a really good dude. He's one of the only like big names that isn't at camp yet, but you know he's going to get there eventually, hopefully.
I'm not too worried about that.
He'll fly down there, you know. He'll get there.
And just like in terms of consistency, he's one of the most consistent guys out there in the MLB. Just over his whole career, he's been consistent every year, year after year. And you know, he might not be as productive because of age. Like he won't have the same base or stolen base numbers as he usually has. And his defensive numbers weren't great last year, but I think he'll probably come back to where his numbers usually are. But yeah, like I said, just insanely consistent.
And a total defensive upgrade over Castro,
Yes.
for sure. Now you have that middle infield set with Addison Russell and Zobrist, and it's going to be good. It's going to be very good.
Yeah, very excited about Zobrist for sure.
And even when in days where Schwarber catches, you can move Zobrist out to left. You can put him anywhere, like Blake said earlier. Super utility guy.
Yeah, that's what all the prospects say. I mean, all the scouts, you know, mega utility guy. I mean, that's what he is. So, and with Joe Madden, we know how he likes to switch things around. So
You can never guess a lineup card with Joe, except for Rizzo at first base. That will be the constant.
Yeah.
But I like that. It keeps guys on their toes, keeps them moving around. You got to have guys that are just baseball players, not just proned into one position, for sure.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Another new arrival that I really like is the return they got for the Castro deal. Adam Warren is a guy who could be that fifth starter, but as Evan said earlier, he'll probably end up in that bullpen role.
Yeah, I
but
think the same thing.
He is insurance there.
Yeah.
He's a guy who can come in and start once in a while. He has potential, and it's adding depth to the starting rotation, which is something that the Cubs needed desperately.
Yeah.
This offseason, and Theo and Jed addressed it yet again. So I'm liking Adam Warren from the Yankees, and yeah, I think he'll be a good fit.
The Cubs have quickly made their bullpen one of their strengths overall, just in terms of depth. And if they stay healthy, you know, I think they could be really good this year. And Adam Warren being a big reason for that.
Absolutely. Well, what we're going to do now is a little bit of a positional breakdown.
Whoa. We didn't talk about the other Cardinal.
Oh, let's touch on Lackey quick.
Let's touch on Lackey.
Because this is interesting for me.
Yeah.
Because
he's a guy I really wanted to talk about, honestly.
as you know, I don't like John Lackey.
I don't think anyone really does as a person. If you know anything about him, you know he's not the greatest human being on the planet, but
Yeah. the whole thing with his wife is a little sketchy.
Well, that's just not even.
I'm not going to mention that, but when I think of John